Hello and welcome to video number 3 during the virus. So this video is going to address more of things that will be happening during the virus, both good and bad. This is the important part. This virus is going to do something that is generally not done, and that's going to allow rebirth at the same time that the death is occurring, which is pretty interesting. It's not going to wait till it's over before the earth generates and all that. The rebirth is already going to be starting while the death is happening. So like I said, the earth was pretty clever, tried to figure out ways to mitigate the damage and tried to make things better for everybody. So this video is going to be about those things that are going to be happening now. I mean, I think we've all figured out in the last 2 days since I put out my last video that this thing is going to be much more awful, and they're being every day a little more realistic, and we're seeing bigger death tolls, and you get it, we all know what's happening. And the thing in New York where they haven't had more deaths or whatever a day, remember people, that has nothing to do with it that they haven't had more deaths during the day. It means that more people are dying at home. More people are so scared to go to the hospital knowing they're probably not going to get a ventilator that they're literally staying at home and trying to fight the illness by themselves. And so it's kind of sad, but that death toll is happening, and it's not being counted in the death toll. So no, deaths are not slowing down in New York. They're actually ramping up everywhere across the world. Poor China, who just went back to opening up everything today, is going to really pay for that in the next 2 months really badly. So watch for that, because China's stupid for doing what they're doing. But anyway, negativity over. Let's make this a more video, not so blah. So I write things down all the time. I carry this notebook with me. I have it at my bed. I couldn't sleep again last night, so I was up writing notes till 3 in the morning or whatever, because everything they're telling me is just, it's so interesting. I don't want to miss any of it, so I'm trying to write it all down so I can tell you guys about what's going on. So let's start with the beginning. Let's start with what's going to change. Big changes. The political system is going to change dramatically. Please understand, when I see the aftermath of this, I don't know when the aftermath is, because this thing is going to go on for years. So I don't, the aftermath is going to be years away. So all these changes and things that are going to happen, I'm not predicting they're going to happen next week or July 7th or September 21st. I'm just telling you they're going to happen. I just don't know when. But this is all going to be an outcome of this. And the political system is going to be one of the biggest things that changes, because the Republicans have royally fucked themselves over this whole thing, as we all know. So at this point, anybody who supported Trump is not going to be voted in. Anybody who allowed this debacle to keep going on is not going to be revoted. So we're going to go to a pretty democratic, lopsided society here in November, which honestly is going to be awesome after this atrocity of the last 3 years, 4 years almost. But what I'm saying is, when I say the political party is going to change, is I don't know if after this is over, I don't think the Republican Party is even going to be here anymore. And I'm not even sure the Democratic Party is going to be here. I think they're going to just completely revamp the system. They may call themselves Republicans or whatever, but it's going to be different, and it's going to be wildly different. I mean, you're going to have, in this scenario, the rich old white guys who, let's be honest, are the face of the Republican Party. I know there's other genders, races, whatever, that support, but that's pretty much the face of the Republican Party, is old rich white guys. So you're going to see who comes through and who doesn't. You're going to see the rich old white guys that put shitloads of money into research and trying to help, and hospitals and helping build, and blah blah blah. And even though I'm not a Jeff Bezos fan, and I think it's crazy that he's still trying to make his Amazon workers work, at the same token, he is donating tons of money, and he is trying to do good shit at the same time. So you're going to have those rich white guys that actually, or rich people, do the right stuff. They're going to try to help save America. And then you're going to have the rich white guys that we've already seen. The senators who try to sell off stock and then buy stock in coronavirus-related shit before the shit really hit the fan. You're going to see those Republicans. So the good thing is, this coronavirus is going to be so traumatic, it's literally going to sift out the riffraff in a way that all the American public can see it. Now, I understand that there's going to be those 10% of dumb-ass jerk-offs who are going to follow this Trump train down the drain until them and all their family members are dead, unfortunately, and I'm sorry for that. But the other 90% are going to wake up, because there's no way to lose part of your family. There's no way with the internet today and the ability to see things and recollect things and stuff, that people deny 2 weeks later. They said there's no way to deny those things. It's everywhere. It's just imprinted in history forever. So we're going to see those Republicans who do good and the Republicans who do bad. And the bad ones are going to go bye-bye. And the bad ones are going to be quite obvious how they're going to go bye-bye. Everybody's going to help them go bye-bye, because the whole public's going to watch what they're doing and scrutinize their every move with their money. So the political system going to change. Thank effing God, because it's 50 years past the point it should have changed, when all the Republican bullshit. And just so you know, people, I'm an independent, so don't think Democrats are the greatest. No, Democrats have really fucked up a lot about Trump too, to be honest. But I lean more toward Democrat now, just because of Trump, thank God. So politics. First thing, building. The building industry is going to be very interesting, what happens, because understand, our population in the earth is going to be so disseminated that there's going to be no need for building of new housing. We're going to have so much extra housing because of the death, that the new need to build is going to be over for housing. Now, it's interesting, because the building industry is going to morph into a whole different thing, where they start building. Remember, during and after this is over, they're going to start building adult playgrounds, because people are going to be just starved to go outside and play, even grown-ups, even adults. So the building's going to change, and they're going to build, hospitals, or they're going to build that kind of stuff. But the housing industry is pretty much tanked in multiple ways, because we're going to have way more supply of houses and apartments and living abodes than we'll ever need for many, many, many years to come, because of how many people are going to die. So that's going to be a big change. All right, let's go. As we already know, the air nurse is going to get cleaner, because once again, it's funny how every day you just see another picture of another country or another, the Los Angeles skyline yesterday that somebody hadn't been able to see for 5 years from their apartment. Now it's perfectly clear. So the good thing that's going to come during the coronavirus is those things are going to be so startlingly, there we go, long word, obvious, that people aren't going to be able to deny it. People aren't going to be able to deny the clean air and the fact that the waters are clearer and they can see the fish in the Hudson River and blah, 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 blah. It's going to be right there in front of us. So during the coronavirus, a lot of people are going to get it finally about, that's what happens when you don't pollute the damn water. That's what happens when you don't pollute the air. Frickin' A. On this same tangent, quote unquote extinct animals are going to make a comeback, because there's a lot of animals that there's no doubt aren't extinct. They're just frickin' hiding, for their frickin' lives, because of what humanity's done to their habitat and their areas that they live. So we're going to see quote unquote extinct animals come back, because they're not scared anymore, because there's going to be regrowth in their areas of not constantly being polluted and damaged. And we're going to see that soon. I guarantee in the next 2 months, we're going to see some extinct thing everybody's going to go crazy about, because they're like, oh my God, nobody's seen that in 150 years. Yeah, no, they're here. They're hiding. And it's like those trail cameras that catch animals that we swear to God are extinct. And there they are on the trail camera, because they're hiding from people. They're hiding from what we're doing to their earth. So that's going to be a fascinating thing. On that tangent, I don't know if any of you guys saw this yesterday, but what a telling thing about animals. What a telling thing. Animals, at the China, the Beijing Zoo or something yesterday, 2 pandas finally had sex for the first time in I don't know how many, 8, 11 years, something like that. They've been trying to get these 2 animals to procreate for years naturally, instead of having to inseminate. for years. And these animals, because people weren't staring at them all the time in the damn zoo, finally felt relaxed enough to have sex like normal animals. And made progress. So we're going to have zoos. That's going to be the other interesting thing. We're going to have so much procreation going on in the zoos that zoo handlers have had to have a hand in all this time with artificial insemination and this and that, and trying to coax and all that bullshit. They're not going to have to do anything because animals aren't going to be afraid anymore to live in a more natural way. So we're going to see all kinds of growth populations in the animal species in a positive way. I don't know if this will be negative. I don't know if there's going to be too much deer, too much whatever. I don't know. But in a positive way, we're going to see that. Okay, less population, less food needed. So how does that help? Because if you need less, let's take meat, cattle, perfect example. Well, we're going to cut down a huge need for food in our world, which is desperately needed because we don't have enough food for the world right now. So we're going to cut down, which means places like the rainforest where they're chopping them down daily to make cattle farms and other type of agricultural farms are going to regrow. All those places that are paramount to the existence of our earth are going to regrow. I mean, that's going to happen everywhere, and all because the food demand is going to go down. So that's actually a positive, because a lot of our earth is being desecrated by farmers who value their need for money and whatever over the need for people to live. So look at that, particularly like the rainforest. If you guys have never know anything about that, look that up about the rainforest and what farmers are doing there. They're ruining it. But like I said, that's all going to stop. All these things are going to grow back and come back just because food is no longer going to be as much in demand. Something that simple is going to change something like the rainforest. So that good outcome. I believe this, and everybody will laugh. This may be my wackiest prediction ever, but I think currency is going to change. I think money, I'm not saying necessarily dollar bills or quarters or whatever are going to change, but there's going to be a dramatic change in the use of currency. Some of it's going to be how it looks. I mean, currency is going to take a big hit because we're going to go into a huge depression, probably way worse than the original depression, and money's not going to have any value. And I hope you guys understand, in a depression, money just loses value at that point for everybody, rich people too. So they're going to have to strike up some new currency system when all this is said and done, to be equal across the masses. All right. Prioritization from people is going to get so much better, honestly, because the people in the life that they've got to have the BMW or the Mercedes Benz or all that bullshit that has no meaning, doesn't make you anybody, doesn't make you important, whatever. They're going to learn the value of money, because is it more important to have your 2019 BMW, sports coupe, whatever, or is it more important for you to have food and feed your family? Well, most people are going to pick B. So we're going to see an awakening of conscious about prioritization in your life. What's really important? What's really important is going to be your family, your shelter, and your food. And everything else in life is just going to go by the wayside. So that's going to be a priority. After the political system, my favorite thing about all this that's going to happen that I'm really, really excited for is that religion is going to die. Yes, remember, there's always going to be that 10%. But religion's going to take a pretty big hit here, because let's be honest, I've told you before, I don't believe in a centralized God. I do believe in a higher energy source. I don't know what the name of it is. I don't care. I do believe in a higher thing in the spiritual realm, but I don't call it a God. But religious people are going to come to the fact that a just God would never allow what's happening to happen. And it's easy to be pious and stick your nose in the air about everybody else when you're whatever religion you are. But goddamn, when it wipes out half your family and you're asking God why, that's going to turn a lot of people away from religion. Thank the heavens for that, because religion is such a destructive force for so many people. I know there's people that get something out of it, and honestly, hallelujah and amen to them, and I mean that sincerely. If they get something positive out of it, I'm all for that. I think that's terrific. But most people don't. Religion is a place for them to go and feel bad about themselves and then pay money to feel bad about themselves. Wow, what a concept there that is. So you're going to see a big drop in religious services. Lots of churches across the country are going to close. Actually, across the world are going to close, because this is going to be a worldwide opening of consciousness. And a lot of people are going to become very spiritual, which is what we all need to be. Nobody needs to be religious. Everybody needs to be spiritual. Because spirituality is what causes you to be a good person and try to do good things and have good morals and ethics and do it because you want to and it's the right thing to do, and not because your pastor is, checking your every movement. What a joke. So that's going to be the great thing. Like I said, I'm so excited about that, because religion is so destructive to so many people. Who thought of this crazy thing to just make people feel like shit about themselves all the time and then take their money from them? I mean, God, what a way to make a living. Okay, so that's my spiel on churches, which I'm super happy about. All right, I got to go to my other notes, because like I said, there's all these dire predictions, and I want to assure you, this one I'm going to get. There's all these dire predictions about obesity in our country is going to go up. No, it's not. It's going to go the exact opposite, because it's going to kill off the weak. And I know I'm heavy, but like I told you before, I exercise a lot, thank God. So I'm not too worried about me, because I don't really have any comorbidities or any of that shit. But people are going to be out of their minds staying in their house. Kids, adults, they're going to be out of their minds. So even if an adult walks out in their yard and watches their kid play on the swing set, and this is the same adult that never leaves their house because they're sitting in their, easy boy eating Cheeto Puffs and watching Oprah all day, walking 2 or 3 times out to the yard might not seem like a big deal to you, but to somebody who doesn't do it, it's a big deal. And for other people who walk a little bit, they're going to start walking a lot. Because remember, people, there's going to be places they're going to arrest you if they see you in a car driving anywhere, because we're going to get to the point there's going to be a lockdown. We're going to get there. It's going to be goddamn slow, but we're going to get to the point the whole country's locked down. Grocery store, you're not going to be able to do any of that. Everything's going to have to be delivered to you for safety. So people are going to learn to walk everywhere. And they're going to just learn to be outside, just to be outside instead of in their freaking house. So actually, people are actually going to get healthier, because it's going to kill off the weak. And then it's going to make the remaining people forced to exercise and forced to survive. So it's literally going to make the remaining people stronger, which is crazy, but that's like I said, it's a gift in some way she's trying to give us. She's just doing it just a really difficult way, but she's trying to help us with other things, and this is one of those. Oh my God, this goes unsaid, and we all know this. Any of us who are home with our children right now, and I still have one at home, it's very trying to have your child in the house all the time, and I'm glad that I just have one left, because I feel so sorry for anybody who has small children and they're cooped up with them, because I remember those days very vividly, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, except for people who want children. But people are going to really start connecting with their children. I'm going to tell you, I have a very, very tight-knit family. I'm extremely close to my children. I feel grateful every day that my family is like it is, because we are an anomaly in this world today. All my children stayed in Iowa. Nobody wants to leave. We're all super close. My son lives down the street. My kids all want to live around us, and we love that. We're very happy for that. But a lot of people don't have that. And a lot of people are going to get to have that soon, because it's going to be almost forced upon you. The 32nd time your 13-year-old walks through the living room and grunts at you, in a reply to whatever you ask, you're going to explode. But that's good, because you're going to open dialogue. Parents are finally going to say, Jesus Christ, what is going on in your head? Dude, what are you thinking? Or girl or whatever. What the hell? And then kids are going to yell back. But you know what? Sometimes yelling is productive. Sometimes it's needed. So there's going to be a lot of communication starting between parents and children that's long overdue. And we all know that the children are, for the most part, this worries me, I'm not going to lie. For the most part, children thrive on attention. That's all they want. Most children, that's what just makes me crazy with my generation, what we did to our children. We didn't, but most of my generation, spoil their kids rotten, bought them the latest iPhone, this or that. We didn't ever do any of that shit. Our kids bought all their own cars and iPhones and all that shit the minute they could work. But, our generation did that and made a blah generation, and now we're going to have a chance to fix some of it, and other generations are going to have a chance to fix some things, because when you're cooped up with people 24/7, you have to talk. You can't just sit and so people are going to work shit out and figure things out, and communication is going to get better, and families are going to get closer. Adult children are going to move back in with their families even more than we've just seen in the last, 5 to 10 years. We're going to have a lot of families cohabitating again in homes, which is great, because a lot of families are apart, and then they just become apart mentally. And this is going to force a lot of stuff to get fixed between people. I'm not saying it's going to be rosy, and I'm not saying everybody's going to do it, but there's a lot of families that just needed to be forced together with some time with nothing to do to finally talk to each other, which is ridiculous, but that's what it took. The only side I'm worried about are the kids that are, have parents that molest them or something, and now they're home and trapped into that. And I don't know what's good out of that. So I can't make anything good out of that. That actually makes me very sad. But for the most part, for children, it's going to be awesome. And for families, it's going to be awesome, because we're going to get back to the way families were like in the 1940s and 50s. And everybody goes, that's so stupid. No, it's not. No, it's not. We need community. We need love. We need that with other people. And we have just torn away from that in recent years. It's so frustrating. So we're going to go back to that, which is going to be very nice. All right. Oh, okay. Do me a favor. I'm just going to do a quick ad here. Quit picking on Asian people. Jesus Christ, people. Asian people did not bring this over to our country that live here. I mean, it's driving me crazy that I'm reading all these stories about hate crimes against Asian people. Stop it. We're all suffering. Okay. Oh, politics, religion, blah, blah, extent. Okay, so that's one list. That's my other list. I think I'm done with my list. So the moral of the story, people, is in all the death and destruction, look for the renewal. Look for the rebirth. Go on Reddit. I love Reddit. It's my favorite thing in the world. My older son turned me on to Reddit, and I just love it. There's so much positivity in it. Go on the Made Me Smile subreddit or whatever. You just get to be happy all day, seeing all the great things people are doing despite the chaos that's happening. And we're just going to see so much of that. It's going to be refreshing. So in all the death and destruction, guys, there's going to be good things. I laugh when I was Ivanka Trump or whatever. Oh, learn to play an instrument or whatever. Yeah, you got a lot of time when you've got 3 kids under the age of, 8 at home to learn to play an instrument. But, not to be funny, learn a language. Sign up for Duolingo. It's free. Sign up for that and learn a language right now. You can do that. Your phone's in your hand most of the time, right? Let's get real. Make this positive. If you ever wanted to paint, go paint, start painting. Start making a new temporary normal for yourself, because like I said, in a year, all this is just going to change again. But